Hey guys, Darth Glorik here with part 1 of our brand new A-Series game. We are playing Star Wars The Old Republic. This MMO is awesome. I have been playing it for years, and it occurred to me, you know what? The single-player story elements of this game are just amazing. They're so good. And it occurred to me, actually, this would make fantastic playthroughs on my channel, doing all the class stories. So that's what we are going to do. So, before we hop right into this, I'm going to tell you something really quick about our upload schedule. So, how this is all going to work is, originally my plan was to have shorter games for my A-Series games. Whatever my A game was, I was going to make shorter games until we could buy the DLC for Dragon Age Inquisition. And then we would, so that way we could quickly switch. I have come up with a new plan. I mentioned this in my Pokemon part, which I just finished recording, and but I'm going to hash it out here. So in this one, what we're going to do is my new A-Series game is going to be Star Wars The Old Republic. We will be doing the class stories, and we will just be probably doing like the Sith Warrior, and then we'll do the Jedi Knight, and we'll work our way down. So this game is very long. We'll be in this game a long time. So instead, what we're going to do is whenever I finish Pokemon, my B games will be shorter. And I will do like campaigns or in different like Call of Duties or something. Like I'll do something shorter term, and then when we have the money to buy the DLC for Dragon Age Inquisition, we will do that. But then at that point, I will decide on if I want to move Dragon Age to my A game slot, like just for the upload days, or if I want to, and then I want to move Old Republic to B, or if I want to keep it the way it is. But that is the new plan, and that's what we are going to do. But at least for now, you can look forward to seeing this and then Pokemon on my channel. And I am very excited. I have played this game a long time. I have played this game a lot, over the years. What I usually ends up doing is I'll be on it for like hardcore for maybe 8 months or a year, and then I'll be off it for maybe 4 or 5 months. And then I usually do that, and that's how I've been doing it for years now. But anyway, it occurs to me, I was like, you know what, the stories are so good, and there's so much good stuff these days in this game that I was like, you know what, I should do this on my channel. So, anyway, my computer, seems to be running this pretty good. I was a little worried about everything, but I have updated drivers, and I have up-to-date drivers, and my computer runs it pretty good. Sometimes, of course, you'll see frame drops and hiccups, but for the most part, it's pretty smooth. Especially when you're playing solo and not in a group, it runs really nice, you know? So I think it's enough that I don't feel that bad about putting it on my channel, and I hope you guys are excited for it. So I did do some sound balancing, and my sound test, I did a couple of pre-sound tests before I started really recording, and my sound test came out good. I think the draw between my voice and the game is good. If the levels are not good, then of course they will be fixed in the subsequent episodes, but at least for a preliminary, I think this is pretty solid. So, what we're going to do is I have unlocked every race and every character. Now, I am preferred status, but for maybe a year or two, I was a subscriber to this game. So these days, I am preferred status because I am broke. However, I have unlocked most of all the really fun stuff. So we have access to we have access to stuff like unified armor and like hide helmet and stuff like that, so we're not like cut off from everything. But I've also unlocked every race, and I am also legendary status. We have all the good toys. So what we're gonna do is we're going to start with Sith Warrior, and then eventually when we beat Warrior, we will do the other side. We will hop onto Jedi Knight. So basically, we're gonna hop between them both. We'll do Warrior, we'll finish it eventually, then we'll hop to Knight, and then when we finish Knight, we will hop back over and we will start Inquisitor. So basically, that's how you can expect to see. But again, just get comfortable because this game will be going a long time. This is a very long game. So I have already thought about what race I want to do. As you can see, I have everybody unlocked. And I already thought about what race and everything I'm going to be. It's actually going to blow you guys away, but we're actually going to be male.
Now you'll see what a Sith is capable of.
It is surprising. We are going to be the Pureblood Sith. I got to get my favorite body type, which I think is 3. Because the other ones are real small. Yeah, we're going to go 3. I like him as just as big as a house. He's so big and dangerous. And not scars. We can move his complexion over a little bit. Does that make him a little more red?
Looks like it's time for a
then eye color we can adjust, but it's first we need to fix the hair. Now, I know what I want. There's a certain hairstyle that looks really cool. And there we go. Okay, so like the slicked back hair looks really sick. Okay, then we need, the other one we need is, let's see if I can find it. There we go. Then I put that jewelry on. His piercings, hair color, I think that's black already. Here's the problem, is I am colorblind, and so if we mess up, I might have to backtrack and fix him. But I think that's black. And then skin color, I actually like that. I think that's 5. Yeah, and I like him like scarlet red. And yeah, that's 5 for sure. So that's perfect. And then yeah, hair color, jewelry, and then eye color. I think that's already, that's obviously already red. And I like the glowing red on these guys. Ooh, I think 4 is actually brighter. Well, 5 is like a deeper, darker red. 4 is like a glowing red. And both are really good, but the question is, do we like the glowing red or the scarlet red? I almost like the scarlet red. You know what I mean? Because that other one almost feels like a red orange. You know what I mean? And this feels like blood red. So I like that a lot better. Complexion is good. Scars aren't bad. Like, I'm not against scars. I like the idea that he has no scars because no one has really actually hit him. And I'm just like, yeah, you know, no scars on him. Nobody could touch him. So we're gonna keep the scars off. Perfect. And as for names, you're probably gonna be used to the names by now. Let's see. I don't think you can do dashes, so I guess we'll have to put a little hyphen. Glorik Dark-Rage. Will you give it to me? Yes, it will. How exciting. So, I will describe how we do all of the intro stuff in a minute, because I'm assuming this is going to hop right in. Yeah, okay. So I will be quiet for a minute and let you guys enjoy this. You know what occurs to me? I actually have to read this. Anyway, Prologue, the Sith Warrior. The Sith Empire tightens its grip on the galaxy. The Galactic Republic and its Jedi defenders lie weakened and vulnerable after the Empire's successful military campaign. With a fragile alliance negotiated, the Empire sends all potential Sith to undergo cruel and deadly trials at its academy on the harsh planet Korriban. Today, one of the Empire's most promising young warriors has been secretly summoned by an influential overseer to face the dark side trials much sooner than expected. So obviously this music is copyrighted, but I'm also not monetizing this, so usually if you don't monetize it, even if it's copyrighted, they usually, so far, as far as I can tell, they let you keep it. So even though obviously the Star Wars theme is very much copyrighted, I'm going to leave it up. Because it's part of a game, man, and it sucks having to edit out like some music from a game because it's copyrighted. Like it's frustrating. So I'm gonna leave it in. If it gets taken down, then I guess I'll edit it out. But I'm assuming I almost certainly won't have to. I have yet to have to actually do that. I'm always worried it's gonna happen, but I have yet for it to happen. And I have put up copyrighted stuff on my channel before, and it didn't get taken down. So the only thing that happens is that another, you know, whoever does own it puts ads on it, which I don't care about because I'm not monetizing it, so I don't care. It's just like, you know, go for it. I'm not doing this for money anyway. Oh man, here we are in Korriban. It's lovely. It's so beautiful. It looks just like where I live in real life. Like, what? Where does he live? Where is he from? Oh, look at me, dude. Glorik Dark-Rage. I look so sick.
Arrived. Good, good. There is much to do, and every moment is critical.
I'm so tall. Way bigger than these little puny humans.
I'm Overseer Tremel. For decades, I've administered the trials that prove who is and is not worthy to join the Sith Order. The trials are a chance to weed out the weak. Those who face them either survive and become Sith, or die.
Mark my words, I am destined to be Sith.
It wasn't destiny that brought you here.
It was my skill and hatred.
Yes, you are here and ahead of schedule because of me. I
Schedule.
expect you to obey. You face your trials, you serve me, and I will make you the most powerful acolyte here.
That's fair.
Sounds like a plan.
The trials themselves are difficult enough, but they are hardly the greatest threat you face. There's an acolyte here named Vemrin. He's your enemy. and he will try to kill you. We must prepare you.
Let him try. I'll destroy him.
With my guidance, someday you'll destroy all your enemies. That practice sword you've arrived with is insufficient. The blade of lesser acolytes. You need a dominating weapon. In the tomb of Ajunta Paul, there's an old armory. A strong Sith warblade awaits you there.
Only if this comes in a
The tomb
set.
is thick with claw slugs. Deadly savage creatures. Be speedy but careful. They've been the end of many an acolyte.
If they lack the instinct to avoid me, I'll feed them their heads.
Once you acquire the warblade, I suggest you spend some time in the tomb bloodying it. Then come to me in my chambers in the academy.
Sweet. All right. So, a few things that I think you guys should need to know about, and I will talk as I set up how I like everything. All right. First thing we need to know is we need my key bindings set up. Oh, you know what? We should. Well, I don't have to do it in all of them. I can just do it for some of them. Anyway, I need to make sure that F12 is, or that F9 through 12 doesn't do anything. Because if I'm pressing this, because I press it a lot, that's how I binded my key bindings to like stop my voice and record, and I stopped all that stuff. So I need to make sure it's not gonna set anything off in game if I'm clicking F12 and stuff. So far I'm not seeing anything. Anyway, so yeah, I will talk as I do this. Okay, so something you should know is that I am not like maybe a lot of. I like to think I'm different than a lot of YouTubers in this, and maybe even gamers in general. It's not even really a YouTuber thing. Okay, so when I play a game, I like to name my characters after real names. In a lot of games, you see something stupid like, you know, like Paul the Taco. You know what I mean? It's like just the dumbest names, and I like giving my characters real names. I have always done that. Well, this game is no different. Now, as a side effect, I am a big, so I don't see anything that affects this, so we should be go to start and stop my voice and record and stuff, so we should be good there. Anyway, I like give myself real names, and I like role-playing just a little bit. I'm not talking like, you know, pretend I'm a Sith Lord or something, but to some degree, I like role-playing. So, you know, okay, what am I talking about? So let me basically tell you. So, Glorik Dark-Rage. So that's the character we made. Well, in this game, I like, when I especially in this game, but I do it in other games as well. In this game, I made this warrior. So the Glorik, the actual name character from the story that my sister and I are writing, this is not how Glorik is, but I like just choosing a name that I know because Glorik Dark-Rage is a real name and stuff. So, but the Sith, like this guy is, let's just say for this story purpose, this Sith's name is Glorik Dark-Rage. Okay, well, I like giving my characters a real personality and not like, you know, not me, like me, the YouTuber, controlling these people. They're like it's like this Glorik Dark-Rage is his own person. He has his own personality. He has his own romance thing. I'm just along the journey. I'm just, you know, part of the journey too. And that's how very much how I see it. It's how I roleplay. It's how I play, and it's what I like doing. Okay, so this Glorik Dark-Rage. So because his race, he is a Pureblood Sith. So Pureblood Sith tend to be very prideful because they tend to be extremely powerful, and because they have a long lineage of dark side power, and of course that's originally where the whole Sith thing comes from, and so it's like it's very common for them to be very prideful because they're used, especially in the Empire, they're used to being treated like they're better than everybody else, and they're used to thinking that way. So when I play this character, he's very prideful. He believes that he is like the baddest Sith to walk the galaxy, and he believes he's destined for greatness. He believes he's gonna control. He believes he's gonna succeed. He's gonna win. That's how he thinks, and it's not like he's acting, and it's not me just choosing random options. I'm role-playing the character. So if I choose certain options, even if it's not what I would like necessarily do, that might be how, or even if it's not necessarily my views, that might be what this character thinks. And so I just wanted for you guys to be aware, because I always make characters and I roleplay as that character. So it's one of those things. It's one of those things that and when we make other characters down the road, those characters are going to have different personalities. They're not all going to play like Glorik. They're not all going to be prideful. They're not all going to think they're the baddest thing to walk the earth. They're all going to have their own personalities and their own choices and things. And so I wanted just to make you guys aware so that if I'm making certain choices, you're not like, why is he acting like this? Like, or wow, that's a weird decision. So I do have a reason behind why I do things. And personally, I think it makes for a funner playthrough, because as you go through, it makes it feel like that you're like, that everything is, it's driven, like that you're witnessing a movie or something. You know what I mean? And I think, and for me, it's more fun. It's just how I'm wired. So as you can see, I have a lot of mail. I have this every time I start a new character, because again, I was a subscriber for like a couple of years, and so because of that, I have a lot of. I think I was a subscriber off and on for a couple of years. It wasn't solid, but so because of it, I have a lot of goodies. Like I have titles and things, and then the first is put my flare on. So as you can see, when you put on flare, then it shows in your portrait, so everybody knows that I am a fancy dude. So this, we will unlock the title Galactic Defender. That is for their that's like BioWare's or whoever's like anti-bullying thing. You know what I mean? It's like raising awareness and stuff, which is cool. I have no problem with that. No one should be bullied, so I support that. And then I also have the title The Illustrious, which is I will equip, at least for now. And then I have a Alliance flag, which is just some random prestige, doesn't mean much. I get an early experience boost, which we may or may not use. Then we have a Defender droid that I add to my pets. We have a couple of different atomics of different types. We have 3 of different types. Basically, we're gonna close the outfit designer. I know how that works. All right, we're gonna first choose a combat proficiency. Now, there's a lot of them are really good. Let's see. I think I almost always go with Carnage, I think. The other ones are good. Let's see. Fury. The dark side can be a powerful ally when one channels the inner Fury. No one knows this better than the Fury Marauder. Faced with one opponent or many, the Fury Marauder strikes with raging bursts of power while maintaining a balanced stance that offers protection against the enemy's attempts at obliteration. Okay, so it's like... So jumping to a target. See, that's a good one too. Fury's really cool. Annihilation. It's like more like force-based, looks like. Ow. Annihilation doesn't have to be instantaneous, and that's how the Annihilation Marauder likes it. With lightsaber and force attacks designed to bleed their foe and increasing their potency with a aggressive combat form, the Annihilation Marauder causes deep rupturing wounds that add up until it's too late. So basically, they have more like status effects and longer-term things, so it's not so much what I'm after. Carnage and Fury are really good. They're more about just wailing on them. Like Gore is really good. That's not bad. We have Massacre, strikes the target with both weapons. We have Ferocity, gain 2 stacks of Ferocity, so it's like different good stuff. We have Devastating Blast. Carnage, agile and swift, the Carnage Marauder wins the day by way of sheer volume. As a devastating flurry of dual lightsaber strikes and force attacks overwhelm their foe, each successful blow can serve to embolden the Carnage Marauder in their assault, making them all the more deadly. So I almost always go for Carnage. I sometimes have grabbed Fury, especially for like Obliterate is really good. Obliterate? I don't know why I can't say that. Obliterate is pretty nice. But I think we're gonna go with Carnage. I like the idea of just having more offensive abilities. So that's one thing we're gonna grab. But I always go to collections, to what I actually own. There's a few things that I have to pick up. I have to pick up my Ruddy Scale Calakian Monkey Lizard. So it's the same little creature that Jabba had that was always like laughing and cackling. Okay, well that's him. Now, for me, it's sort of a cool story because he was, when I first started playing this game back in the day, he was my very first pet. When I played, I played for a little while, then I subscribed. After I subscribed, I realized, you know what, like, this is awesome. I subscribed, and then subscribers get a allotment of cartel coins. So then when I was getting cartel coins, I saved them, and then when I saved them enough, I bought him. So my little monkey lizard was my very first pet and the very first thing that I bought in this game with cartel coins, and I think it was very much a wise decision, and I have never looked back, because look at him, he's adorable. He's also like vicious, and he laughs maniacally, and I love it. a lot. Anyway, so that's very cool. So we have some armors. So it's one of those playthroughs. This is going to be a long game, okay? So if we spend 20 minutes setting up to play, like, that's pretty normal. So, you know, don't be too, anyway, so don't be too, you know, get on with the story. You're like, relax, man. It's a very long game, so just relax. Anyway, so the other thing you should be aware is when I play this game, there is stories for every planet. So for every main planet you go to, there is a story. I almost never do the planet stories. Why? Because the planet stories are a little boring, honestly. It feels a lot like busy work, and we almost never need the levels for it. It just feels like busy work, and I have never been about it. So how I always play is the first planet, so Korriban, I hit everything, pretty much. On Korriban, I hit pretty much any mission you can find. The very last thing we do before we leave is all the heroics, and then of course we do the main story. But after that, we pretty much hit only heroics, and then of course the main stories from there on out. And then leveling wise, I always seem to be doing just fine, and we seem to do great. So anyway, just so you guys are aware how I always play, that's how we do it. Anyway, so lots to talk about, of course, because there's lots of setup to this game required, but this game is really good. It's really, really good. So I think it'll run it runs pretty good on my computer, and I think it'll do pretty good for you guys as well. Obviously, a lot of this early stuff is not hard at all. It's just little busy work. Anyway, and if you can hear my keys clicking, I'm sorry about that. I don't know how good I don't know how well my mic's gonna pick any of that up. So hopefully it's not bad. I don't think it's bad because I use the keys and not just spamming the click. If I was clicking my mouse a lot, I think you would hear that, but I don't think you would hear my keys clicking. You'll probably hear my spacebar because my spacebar sticks, and it's a very old, very cheap keyboard, and so you might hear my spacebar click. But again, I'll try not to spam it, that's jump in this game. So as long as I'm not jumping obsessively, that shouldn't be that bad. Anyway.
Excuse me, Acolyte. Sergeant Corman, 5th Infantry Company, Korriban Regiment. Can I talk to you?
Speak freely, Sergeant.
Thank you. You're the Acolyte Overseer Tremel had brought in special, right? Heading down in the tomb to show what you're made of?
And to find myself a Sith Warblade, apparently.
Well, here's your chance to not only show off for the Overseers, but start building ties to the Imperial military as well. I'm here commanding a hard target mission to exterminate claw slugs in this tomb. They're horrific things. Mouths bigger than your head. I've lost 3 squads of good men fighting them. They come in packs. They'll swallow a man whole.
If you're trying to talk me out of this, it won't work.
Understood. I was hoping you could assist my operation while you're in there. The damn claw slugs breed so fast there's no way to wipe them out conventionally. So we started targeting their egg chambers. They went insane. We managed to get explosives to all of the egg chambers, but the claw slugs were all over us before we could detonate them.
Perhaps I could be of assistance.
Don't underestimate those claw slugs, sir. They're smarter than they look.
All right, we will exterminate some core slugs. So obviously we will be like reading all of the mission titles. We'll be listening to all the dialogue. So I'm not going to be spamming spacebar so we can quickly get through it. So it's just a slow burn type of game. So we will be here. So I would recommend relaxing, getting some snacks, some drinks, grabbing yourself a rock star and a bag of chips, and let's do this together. Anyway, so first we have the Shicho form, which was utilize a balanced lightsaber form, increasing all damage dealt and reducing all damage received by 3%. So of course that's awesome. And then of course it is passive, which is great. Then we have Fury, passive. Someone is getting eaten by core slugs. Activating an attack that spends rage and defeating opponents builds Fury. Once 30 stacks of Fury are built, you become furious, enabling the use of Berserk predation and bloodthirst. So basically it's you gain all the Fury. You'll see me glowing red, and there'll be a little 30 in my status bar there. You can spend, think of it like currency. You can spend that 30 stacks on like boosts. So like the more you kill, basically the stronger you get. So that's pretty immersive. Anyway, then we have Berserk, which is instant, requires and converts 30 stacks of Fury to go Berserk, instantly generating 4 Rage, plus 8 additional Rage over the next few seconds. Okay, so that one's actually really sweet because you can spend that Fury to build Rage. Now, to use anything for the Sith Marauder, you need Rage, and you spend the Rage on your abilities. So if you're building Fury like passively as you fight and as you kill, and then you spend your Fury, which is you'll build here. You spend your Fury to build more Rage. You spend the Rage using this ability, and then it generates more Rage, so it builds you up to 12, and that can be really nice when you're running low. And you can spend it to hit your good abilities. Now, number 1 is your basic attack, and it's also what you can right-click to do it. But I like using the keyboard, spamming number 1 over clicking a lot, and that builds Rage as well. So that's something. Other thing I recommend is lock the quick bar. Multiple times in battle, you'll accidentally click and drag a little bit, and you'll accidentally or if you're trying to hit an ability that's like AoE, so you'll like hit over here and you'll click on it, well, you'll accidentally drag the ability off the bar, and then you have to go into your abilities and find it again, and it really sucks, and it's really annoying. So I recommend locking the bar unless you're learning new abilities and you're organizing, and then that way you're not going to accidentally click it off, because it's really annoying. Because I have done that many times, and I have now made a habit of locking the bar all the time, because it's nice. Oh, and so, anyway, also, if I am obsessively spamming this, I am sorry, I don't know. I am OCD about some things, and it's one of those things that's like true obsessive compulsive that I like click on it, and then like a few seconds later I'll click on it again, because when I see these and it's not, that little icon isn't 100% full, it like bothers me. So then I click on it so I can build them up so they're full again, and it's something I do obsessively. So I'm really sorry about that. The other thing that I do obsessively that might really piss some of you off is I open my map, I hit M on the keyboard and open it, and then I'll hit escape, and then like 10 seconds later I'll hit my map and hit escape, and I do it a lot. So if I'm spamming the map and I'm spamming this, I'm really sorry. It's not purposeful, I don't think about it, and that's the real problem. So sorry about that if that's something that I end up doing and you're like, please stop, for all those holy, keep the map closed. But the story in this game is so good. They're all so good. My favorite companion in most any game is actually in the Sith Warrior. Some of you probably already know, and some of you could probably guess. But anyway, the one of the companions for the Warrior is one of my favorite in any game ever. Like which I guess I'll tell you, it is a she. She completes me like 100%. Like she's like, if me as a YouTuber, Joshua, if I was in this game, if Darth Glorik was in this game, and I was respawned as a woman, it would be me. I love her a lot. Anyway, so I won't say that too much more about it, but I'm incredibly excited to get to her. I often, whenever I restart and I go back into the game, I often go into the Warrior and bust through the story, like, and break records to get through it, so I can get to that companion, because she's awesome. I love her a lot, and I can't wait to get to her. So excited. So excited. The Warrior's fun. My favorite class to actually play as far as use is the Sith Inquisitor. I find the Sith Inquisitor incredibly fun to play. By the end of it, you're going to have 2 full bars, and there'll be abilities all over both sides of this. So there's so many abilities that for some newer players, it can be really daunting, and a lot of the stuff you're not going to know what it does, but after you play a while, you'll find, you know what, these abilities are actually amazing. So I personally find the Sith Inquisitor amazing to play. I always have a lot of fun playing as them, but of course it'll be a little while before we get there for the channel, but they're very fun.
Set off the charges. Outstanding, sir.
Anyway, but yeah, they are very, very fun, and yeah, it's really, really good. So, other thing we gotta do is we gotta hide the dark side corruption, because I don't want to look uglier. We're gonna unify my colors, make myself look a little better. Now they just added this in the patch. I don't know what this does, but the very last patch, they very recently they launched a new event like Jedi Under Siege or something. It's high level stuff, and I'm not even close to there yet with most of my characters. I have 2 characters that are level 70 that are maxed out. But anyway, but I don't know what this does. So at some point we'll get to the mounts, and then I'll click it and unclick it and see if I see anything different. So at the moment I don't know what it does. Smash. Smash is a great move. It is a ground pound, and I always move out. I always have my ground pound on 5. Anyway, but it's really good. It's nice if you're surrounded and you're trying to get low-level punks off of you. It's nice to be able to have an ability to send them all flying. See, like that. That's a perfect opportunity for ground pound. Hey, and apparently it stuns a lot of stuff, so that's cool. I'm used to the Sith Inquisitor one, where it's like because this one it's more of a stun, whereas I meant to read that. I'm sorry. Anyway, but this one it's more of a stun, while a lot of the Sith Inquisitor it's more like send them flying. So I think it's because the Inquisitor is obviously more squishy than a warrior, and I think that's probably why they changed it. So or like that it's different, which makes sense. Because as the Inquisitor, you want them to get as far away from you as possible. As the Warrior, you'll be leaping into combat, so it's, so that makes sense. That they would be different. The other thing I do is I use heal a lot. Even if I'm like 95%, is that I will almost, after every battle, even if I'm 100%, even if I'm not even hurt, I will usually hit heal on impulse rather than the fact that I need it. So again, if I do that again, I'm also sorry. It's nothing I do consciously, I promise. And I have a certain way of organizing my inventory and certain way I organize my bar, so a lot of that comes from just doing it a lot. When you do it enough times, if you develop a system like how you do it every time, you'll get more efficient, I think. And once you're used to doing it a certain way, then you get more efficient, and then you're just better for it because it's much easier. And then plus, I think it's easier hopping between. I think it's easier hopping between classes if you have a system, because classes to some degree, a lot of them are pretty interchangeable. There's finite details that some of them will be different, but in a lot of cases, like if you're going like the Jedi Knight versus the Sith, why are they giving me so many blades? Anyway, it's going to be very similar how you play it, like the warrior. Like the DPS warrior versus the tank warrior, like the DPS warrior for the Sith and the Jedi, they're going to be very similar. They'll be pretty much the same. They'll just be a Jedi and Sith version. And of course the stories will be very different. But anyway, it's one of those things that once you get good enough that you realize a lot of classes are very similar to each other, and it makes it not that complicated to use or switch between classes. And it's one of those things that... you just get used to doing. So, but if you develop a system, then even switching classes isn't really going to be the end of your world. You'll be like, oh, well, this is just like, blah, blah, blah class, or this is just like this and this class. It makes it easier to switch between them, and I think it makes you better at using the abilities because you know what they did on the other class, or you're just used to it. Like, for me, 5 is always ground pound. If the class I'm using has a ground pound of some form, it's going to be on 5. And that's just how it is. I've done it for years. It's how I'm wired. It makes sense to me. Anyway, for the most part, we will be quiet for cutscenes, just like I do in every other game I play. But for this, if there's no words, then I don't see a reason to be quiet about it, because I'm like, there's nothing going on. You're not missing anything. You can see what he's doing. He's picking out his warblade. Like, what else do you want? But for the most part, I'll be quiet about it. Hang on, I gotta turn my fan on. I'm starting to sweat here, man. The gaming is getting real. I'm sweating. Oh, dang it. At some point, I'll have to show you guys my stronghold, because I have a stronghold. It's not incredibly well maintained or even taken care of. Wow, another freaking blade. So many blades. Oh, they don't match now. That's annoying. Anyway, but at some point, I'll have to show you my stronghold. And it's cool, considering fabricating your stronghold is very hard. I mean, there's a lot involved. You'll spend a lot of time if you care enough making things to decorate or buying things to decorate. It's a very long process and very difficult. Anyway, and so if you care enough, then you've seen I've seen a lot of strongholds that are really cool, but mine isn't bad considering I did nothing. I spent no real money to do anything with it, so it's not bad. But I also know it could be a lot cooler. But it's whatever. Whoop. Another cool thing is, well, I mean, not cool, but another thing that a fact of our playthrough is I'm used to playing this co-op. My older sister plays this game quite a bit as well, and so I'm used to playing it with her. And so I'm used to doing things, obviously, co-op with each other. Now, co-op has advantages, but there's also disadvantages. That in some ways, I think you level up faster when you're in a group, which is, of course, a bonus. But a disadvantage is that in some ways it's faster to not be in a group. For one, my game runs better when I'm by myself, but more than that, besides that is that in some ways it's faster. Now, if you're like going to an area, especially heroics are amazing when you're with another player. It speeds them up a lot. And if you're with another player, by yourself it's doable. This game used to be very hard, but they changed things about the heroics, and it's not anymore. But anyway, if you're with another player, having at least 2 players going through heroics makes them so much faster, so much faster. Now, the other upside is that you save time by like commuting. That I don't have to, like, if we're doing 2 characters, then we have to go through both of our story stuff. You know, if you do it by yourself, you know, you don't have to do that. So, and then of course, for some people they have a certain way of doing things, and it might be different than whoever you're playing with. So that's certainly advantages and disadvantages to playing in a group. And of course, I think the biggest thing is that it's fun. And if you're having fun, then nothing else really matters. Everything else is kind of semantics. So, and of course I have fun when I'm playing with my sister. It's really cool playing anything co-op, really. Co-op, I think gaming in general is just meant to be played with other people in a lot of cases. Now, of course, I'm always going to be a single-player guy for the most part. My channel is always going to be single-player, but there's certain games, there's something to be said about multiplayer gaming, especially if it's local. Like couch co-op, I think is one of the coolest things ever, and it's not common enough anymore, man. Anyway, I'll get some adept gloves, but they're much worse. Much worse. So we can sell them for some money. Sell them for some money. Alright, looks like we're headed to the left. So we picked up our Warblade, we got the artifacts, and now we are headed to the Sith Academy, because that is where the Overseer, that's his new location. And that is where we will be. Our inventory is getting kind of full, but luckily we are working our way towards a place to sell. And there we go. I was waiting for my number 3 because the charge is really good. Sorry, I assumed he would target the guy closest to him, but no such luck. There we go. We're already at 5 of 6 as far as the core slug kills go. Alright, there we go. Boop. Alright. Oh. There we go. We got our bonus. And it's important, especially if you're going to skip like planet stories, or if you're going to skip a lot of extra missions. It's important to hit all bonus objectives, because the amount of experience you get could mean the difference between being under-leveled or being perfectly leveled for a planet. Especially if you do all of them, that really stacks up. And so I always make a point to hit all bonus objectives if they're at all doable, because it means a lot if you're going through It means quite a bit if you're just going to hit the story and then the heroics. So luckily, being a subscriber, I get a free EXP bonus, so that is another great way that you can get ahead, is because I think with every planet, whenever you finish heroics, they give you another major EXP bonus, so which lasts for like 2.5 hours, I think, something like that. And 2.5 hours of game time, so it doesn't run out when you're not online, so you don't have to worry about that. But anyway, so it's pretty much enough that a lot of the time you can keep it going the entire game, pretty much. You know, especially if you get really used to doing a planet, and by now, by the way, I'm very used to it, then you get pretty good about being very efficient in how you do everything. And that's another one of the things that I'm very good at. I'm very good at not making double trips, and I'm very good at being efficient, which for this playthrough will be very helpful. But anyway, and so if you're good at saving time, you can have a EXP bonus going like the whole game, and it can really help speed along your stuff.
I have taken care of your problem with the looters in the tomb.
Ah, then I'll assume my men are dead.
Oh yeah, they're dead.
Even so, you have done us a great service. Their loss is your gain, I suppose.
What's interesting is this is 3 different ways to say okay.
I have completed my task then.
Just like, I appreciate you giving me, like, trying to give me dialogue choices, but is it really a choice when I have 3 different ways of saying okay? Doesn't really feel like much of a choice, brah. Anyway, let's go ahead and unify. Luckily, it's just a lot of gray at the moment, so not much to unify there. Some of the junk, sell all of that. There we go. I don't know why all the guys are waving. It's kind of weird. Anyway, we're level 5, and we have all kinds of new abilities to grab, but of course we will do that inside. La da da. Hey, man.
Acolyte, I come with a message.
Hit me.
Overseer Tremel can teach you the ways of the Sith, but not all of the skills. For that, there are specialists in the Academy. Overseer Tremel wishes you to meet them and learn what you can.
That seems a wise idea.
An acolyte who thinks. Good. There is hope for you, and pleasure awaiting your instructors. You will find the best trainers in the Academy's archive. You are expected there shortly.
So basically, if you're not aware, all that means is it's even purple because if you didn't know, a while back there was an update, so purple is story. So it makes it easier to... maybe some people were having trouble distinguishing what was story and what was, like, not. But, I mean, I've never had trouble, but some people were, maybe. But, I mean, I'm not against it. It does make it easier to follow. So, basically, all that means is they're trying to teach you where you learn new abilities. And if they mark it in bright purple, it's probably pretty easy to follow. Anyway, and that's really all that means.
Hey there, Acolyte. Hold on a moment. Let me get a look at you. So you're Overseer Tremel's secret weapon. Impressive, to be sure. Afraid the old man waited too long to make his move, though. I'm Vemrin, and unlike you, I've fought and bled for everything I have. I demand respect.
You don't want to make me angry, Vemrin.
Believe it or not, I'm trying to keep you from getting killed. If Overseer Tremel had made his move a year ago when I first arrived, you might have had a chance. But now, too little, too late.
This is ridiculous, Vemrin. Let's just kill him and hide the body.
We're not on Balmorra anymore, Torgus. There are rules, traditions. We'll leave the shortcuts to Overseer Tremel and his last pathetic hope here.
I'm going to take what's yours, and then I'm going to kill you.
You have no idea the enemy you're making. Coming, Dolgus?
Be right there, Vemrin. Listen to me, you useless priss. Acolytes aren't allowed to murder each other. But accidents happen. It isn't murder without witnesses. No more warnings. Vemrin's the alpha monster here. You go after Vemrin, you die.
Oh yeah? Peasant? Can't wait to step all over you, bro. Anyway, as you can see, I play in character. Glorik is not afraid of anybody. He's not afraid of nothing. And especially being, again, Pureblood Sith, it's going to be all about pride for him. He's going to think he's the greatest and everyone else is beneath him. Not to the point of being blinded by it, because that is how you get yourself killed. That's how powerful bad guys in the past and a lot of places get themselves killed. And that's, I think, is a key difference for Glorik, is that he's prideful and he does think he is born for greatness, but it's not enough to blind him. He doesn't underestimate his opponents, and I think that's important.
Good. You've returned. You seem to be in one piece. Tell me, how'd you like your new blade?
Take a look. I've already blooded it.
What are you doing, Father? I only just got my warblade and I've been here 6 months.
That's because you're dumber than me.
I have my reasons, Escala. And you will not breathe a word of this to anyone. Do you hear?
Yes. Yes, Father.
Acolyte, this is Escala, my daughter. She's one of the advanced students here. On her way to becoming Sith. If she minds herself.
I'll keep quiet about your new charge, Father. But I won't be there if whatever you're planning blows up in your face.
Don't mind her, she's just sore that I'm keeping secrets. She growls, but she's loyal. Now, I thought I heard Vemrin's voice in the adjacent chamber before you arrived. Did he make his move so soon?
Yeah, I hate him already. I look forward to ending his miserable existence.
If things go well, you will have that satisfaction someday. Still, I'd hoped we'd have more time. Vemrin's not the type to sniff around for too long before trying to take a bite. In a drive for sheer numbers, the criteria for Academy admittance has been relaxed.
Oh.
Now, anyone with force sensitivity is allowed entrance.
Makes sense.
Vemrin is mixed blood, the invisible rot eating at the foundation of
Don't be
the
racist.
He must not be allowed to advance.
So please, just let me stop him.
Unfortunately, Vemrin's caught the eye of Darth Baras, one of the most influential Sith Lords. He's being groomed to be Barris's new apprentice. As Darth Barris's apprentice, the power at Vemrin's fingertips will be considerable. He could change the Sith for the worse. You must proceed to your next trial immediately. I want you to interrogate 3 prisoners in the Academy jails and decide their fates. Consider each criminal's story carefully. The decisions you make will be scrutinized, so let your passions guide your judgments.
I will handle it.
Go to the Academy prison. Speak to head jailer Nash and return to me after you've passed judgment on the prisoners.
Alright, you know, that's actually a bonus about recording on PC, is at the touch of a button, I can mute myself, and I updated that a while back, and, you know, set a hotkey. It's really convenient to be able to turn my mic off or stop recording without having to click out of whatever I'm recording. It's amazing. It's so good. And it's really helpful for especially the mic part, because a lot of the time is you can like hear stuff. You can hear my mic picking up things as there's like cinematics, and I can hear it, and maybe it doesn't bother a lot of people, but it really bothers me. And I love when I can shut my mic off like in a cutscene, so that you guys can just enjoy the cutscene and I don't have to hear my mic buzzing. And it's not that big a deal. It's not that bad, but it really bothers me. But anyway, that's the thing about recording on Xbox, is that it's not that easy. Is that there's a delay. It's because I don't know if it's my software, if it's the Xbox. I don't know what does it, but there's a delay. So it's like seconds. Because in the past I have tried to do that, and all it does is there's like a delay. So like when I resume it, it's always off somehow. So like I'm recording, it's like 5 seconds. Like 5 seconds of my sentence is just not there, and I'm like, why? Like, you know, nothing's different. Like, why? Anyway. Oops. Anyway, but on PC, with the software, it's instant. So I can just on and off, and I can just move on, and it's awesome. Anyway, I'm seeing some weird things. I think my internet connection, I think, is suffering. I think my sisters must be doing stuff on the internet, because I'm seeing a couple of little glitches where that bar jumps, and you'll see people floating like that guy was a second ago. Anyway, doing this so much, there's things I know. Like, I happen to know that there's 2 holocrons, one up there and one on the other side of the room. Now, in every planet, there is like 5 hidden holocrons, and each one gives you a permanent bonus to stats. But a while back, they updated it, so when you pick up a holocron, it's permanent, so you never have to pick it up again. As long as you're on that account, and that's awesome. So now I'm at the point where I don't have to find all of them again every playthrough. But those 2 aren't official holocrons; they're just free experience. It's more like a lore object, and so because of it, those aren't official holocrons, so it's just free experience. But anyway, I just happen to know where they are at this point. Cool. So now we finished that other one. So that was the reason I was waiting to go up here, because I knew that would be enough to get me to level 6. So Force Scream is pretty good, but Sweeping Slash goes first because that is always on my number 4, and then Scream is on my number 6, which is fine, and then Battering Assault is at this point my most powerful ability, that is always on 7. So all kinds of good stuff. We got all kinds of great abilities, and we did relock the bar, so we are ready for bloodshed. Anyway, we're gonna go talk to Jailer Nash and be like, dude, I heard you have some prisoners that need some interrogating. I say, boy. I'm assuming it's like up here, isn't it? I'm doing this looking at the map, doing it off a sense of direction. Hark, I'm a genius. Alright, let's do this.
One more chirp from you, little bird, and you'll regret it.
Chirp, chirp, chirp. Ow, jerk. If you don't like that, just say so. I can do other animals too. Dire cat, frog dog, quaking monkey lizard, you name it.
You, I'm Jailer Nash. I run these cells and slave pits. You're the acolyte Tremel sent for the test, right? He thinks highly of you.
That's me, man.
That's good to hear. I want to do well.
You should know this situation is highly unusual.
I figured.
Normally an acolyte goes off well for the interrogation. Overseer Tremel had these 3 shipped in for you. He thinks you're the next coming of Exar Kun, but you ought to know, Tremel ain't the only one paying attention to you. Now, these 3 prisoners have been transferred here for your inspection. You gotta interrogate them as needed, and then decide their fate. The convicted are usually executed, or given a trial by combat to see if they're worthy. Whatever you decide, you will be the one to carry out the sentence.
No, yes.
I was hoping this would keep me entertained.
Fine. Let's get started. This one on the left.
You freaks aren't getting anything new out of me. Just do whatever you're gonna do.
Relax, man.
So you're hoping for blind mercy? Do you know where you are, lady?
Lols.
You don't have to tell me. There's no such thing as mercy here. I know how this story ends.
Impudent to the last. As I was saying, she was sent to kill an Imperial spy in the Yavin system. Throughout her torture, she maintained that she was hired anonymously.
Get it through your damn head! I had no idea he was Imperial, and I don't know who hired me.
So you're telling me you're not a Republic assassin?
I'm not political. I work for whoever pays.
The point is, she doesn't deny the charge. So now you must decide. Execution or trial by combat.
Okay, so this is one of those things. Now, I've done this enough times that I actually know what the best response is for everyone, so we're just going to do what the best response is. Technically, some of them are light side options, but the light side, dark side is not perfect in this game, and I think you should know. Okay, so this one, what the right decision is, the Empire needs assassins, but they're saying, oh, that's a light side choice. I'm like, all right, my foot, that's a light side choice. Giving the Empire more assassins is the good guy thing to do. That's ridiculous. That's retarded. But anyway, now Armor and Executor are both dark side, but like, technically all three are dark side. But they have to give you like the quote unquote light side choice. So they force like one of them to be light side. It's a little dumb, and I wish they would. I get needing to put it in there, but I feel like if it's all dark side, you could take the points out of it then for that particular one. But if there's no light side thing, I don't necessarily think that you should just plaster light side on it because you want to feel like you're giving them more choices. But anyway, so it's not perfect, and I am going to get some light side points, but overall, of course, we're going dark side, but the right decision is this.
Neither, actually. She could prove useful. Send her to Imperial Intelligence.
I won't work for free.
You spared her. Interesting.
She's useful, man.
Please, I am a fellow Sith. Judge me with an open mind and grant me trial by combat, I beg you.
Oh, you want to fight? You don't actually think you can beat me, do you?
This part of Waste is Davotech, once a valued Sith champion, until he botched an important mission and caused 1,000 Imperial deaths. Now look at him.
I served faithfully for 24 years. Then one mistake, and they threw me away.
That's pretty hardcore, man.
Now I have been left here to rot. Please, let me feel the weight of a weapon once more.
How about nah?
I don't do charity work. Feel the weight of a weapon in your throat.
Oh!
I die a disgrace.
That's right. A dead disgrace. She just no mercy, no sympathy, doesn't care at all. That's him, man. That's Glorik.
I won't have to look at his sad, weathered face anymore. Thank you.
It's true. You're welcome. That was for you, man.
Don't mention it.
Well, this last prisoner's a bit of a puzzle. He's called Breg. And he's a jittery little wretch, suspected of supplying forged documents to Republic agents.
Oh.
Strangely enough, he maintains his innocence, despite being severely tortured.
Okay, so I will read all alien dialogue if they don't speak English. That's because innocent I am. Believe me, you got it. I had nothing to do with forging no papers. Set up. I was set up. Anyway, I will read all alien dialogue just because, I mean, you know, because often the sounds just take a long time and we can just bust through it if I read it quicker. Anyway, okay.
Come on, who would go to all the trouble of setting you up?
No idea. Absolutely none. Did some time I did in a Republic jail for forgery, so I was the perfect candidate to implicate in this, but straight I've been since getting out, I swear.
He's never wavered from that line, and the evidence is circumstantial. I suppose it's actually possible he didn't do it. So, what do you decide?
I don't care if he's innocent or not. Torture him enough and he'll confess.
Lols. No sympathy. The dark side music. Dun dun. Please, no, it's not fair. It's just not fair.
Shut up, you fidgety fool. The decision's been made.
Yeah, you fidgety fool.
Well, that's that. You're an interesting one, kid. I can see why people are keeping tabs on you. Head back to Overseer Tremel. See what he thinks of your choices.
Alright. Talk to Tremel and be like, bro, Spoiler alert, he's gonna be so happy. He's gonna be like, "You are amazing. I love you." Oh, you know what? We should actually really quick. We need to ask if there's any guild recruiting. Because you get an EXP boost if the guild is big enough. And otherwise, I'm not interested, and I'm not going to participate in anything else. I just want the boost. I'll just be honest. I just want the EXP boost. I don't care about any of them. Hopefully some of them have a cool name. It's just like, I was honest. I just want the XP boost. If someone sends me something, fine. If not, I'll just, down the road, I'll just, I will just accept, or maybe I'll look again. If it doesn't happen here, that's not a big deal. We'll level up fine enough. Looks like it's pretty quiet in chat, though.
Is this everything?
Suddenly.
Everything Lord Renning was able to obtain, yes.
Then run back to your master in the beast pens before I cut you in half. Sorry to make you wait, Acolyte. These interruptions are incredibly annoying. On to the business at hand, your test in the jails. First, the assassin, Solence. She attempted to kill an Imperial spy, but was unaware of her client's affiliation.
So she says.
You assigned her to Imperial intelligence. I commend you. That was excellent thinking.
Oh, there we go.
Never waste.
Galactic Warriors. Sure, man. Guild level up. Wow.
Thank you, Overseer. I'm glad you approve.
What's more important is that Darth Baris would approve. Now, Devotek, the former warrior. He wanted combat, but you struck him down. Perfect. The man was utterly useless.
I do not ever choose to waste my time.
Once something is used up, it should be eradicated. Lastly, the forger you sent back for more torture even though he seemed innocent. A strong decision. Leave no stone unturned.
I completely agree.
It's always best to know beyond any doubt. After all, what is one man's sanity or life versus the fate of the Empire?
Exactly, right?
Each time, each prisoner, you made the best possible decision. You may yet be able to challenge Vemrin for Darth Baris's attention. To celebrate, a small reward.
Of course I got it all right. I am perfection.
Wow.
We'll see. Try to remain level-headed. All it takes is one misstep, and you're
Missteps
dead.
are for the weak.
Because I forced you into the academy ahead of schedule. Darth
I hate how he says
will
schedule.
be predisposed to judging you severely. And by severely, I mean fatally.
Yeah, I assumed so.
Now, we must hurry to your next trial. Every moment that passes, we risk discovery before we're ready. In the caverns of Mark Aragnos is the beast he left to guard his legacy. Go there, sit among the flames, and wait for the beast to come for you.
I break beasts' necks in my sleep.
Don't be rash. Defeating this creature will take your best effort.
Oh, please.
Return to the Valley of the Dark Lords and find the tomb of Mark Aragnos. I'll see you when the beast is slain. Good luck.
Luck is for the weak. All I need is raw skill. Wow, I mean, I get it, he's prideful, but darn. Just like, I am perfection. It's just like, oh my gosh. But please, send help. I can't breathe. It's just so bad. Just so prideful. Again, but like, that's the character, right? I mean, he doesn't believe he can lose. You know, but like, I mean, he doesn't, I mean... Maybe he doesn't believe, maybe that's not right, okay? Maybe he does believe he can lose, but he feels like that he's better than, like, the riffraff, than, like, you know, the odd, odd little peon. He doesn't think, like, someone like Vemrin could beat him. He's not stupid enough to, like, mouth off to, like a Sith Lord and be like, you know, I'm better than you. You know what I mean? He's not dumb, so maybe I need to make that clear. It's not so much that he doesn't believe that he can lose. He just doesn't think, like, a significant insect like Vemrin could beat him. And I guess maybe that's the difference that I'm going for. And I want to make it clear about like the lines I've drawn, because I feel like it makes the character come to life a little bit. You know what I mean? I feel like it makes it more exciting for you guys, and it makes it funner for me. It helps you really like want to make more characters, because you're like, you know, well, who's this next guy gonna be? Who's the, you know, like, you know, what's his personality gonna be like, or what's her personality gonna be like? You know, it's fun. I think it makes it more interesting to play. What up?
Stand and account for yourself, Acolyte. Let's see what you're made of.
Pardon?
I look at you and I wonder, are you among the truly loyal, or do you hide treason in your heart?
I am heir to a great Sith bloodline. How dare you even ask such a
See what I
question
mean?
of
Just
me?
insulted.
I do what the Emperor commands me to. Your special heritage does not place you above suspicion, nor should it. Intelligence reports indicate this valley shelters traitors. Acolytes who seek to destroy our Emperor's carefully built order and replace it with their own weak-minded heresies.
They hide among the faithful and obedient. But make no mistake, they will destroy us all, given the chance.
We've watched as the traitors scuttle about this valley and plot against us. We know their faces and their names. It is the Emperor's will that the sands of Korriban be slaked with the blood of these traitors. Prove your allegiance by executing.
Okay, this is one of those things now. For the most part, dialogue works really well in this game. But the problem is it's not perfect, right? Because none of these are good. I'll do as you command and it makes him sound like he just kisses up. Like he's like I don't know. I mean, it's the better one. Now this one is way worse because like, do they have to die? He's not wishy-washy about death. He doesn't care at all for them at all. So that's not right. So not all dialogue is perfect, but this is definitely better than being a crybaby about it.
It will be a great honor to serve you, my lord.
Again, that's like a little too much kissing up for Glorik.
Serve the Emperor.
He would be respectful, but he wouldn't be like, you know, of course, Master, I love you, Inquisitor Arzanin, or whatever your name is.
Eliminate enough of them to prove your loyalty. Then return to Inquisitor Arzanin.
I'll be watching
Arzanin,
your progress with
that's his
great
name.
interest. Go now. See that the Emperor's will be done.
Anyway, it's not perfect, but the dialogue is really good, and especially considering this is an MMO, you know what I mean? Full of players, and for me that's crazy, because most MMOs that I've ever played were not very strong on the story content. Because every time I've tried to get into other ones, none of them really stuck for me. Every single one that I tried to get into, it was really like lackluster. I felt like you were just running around doing these stupid little missions that didn't mean anything, and you know, and I think I think that's a shame. Because I feel like that MMOs, they have this unique ability that you could get, like, you know, like a fun story, while having it be a little different than your average. I don't know. It's a little hard to describe, but I think Old Republic does better than even a lot of MMOs as far as story is concerned. I feel like that they just did a fantastic job with really making it feel like a single-player game that it could be. I mean, if you're a giant PvP person, there is a big crowd for that in this game. Probably way bigger than the PvE people. Now, I'm a PvE person, but that's just personal preference. But if you're big into PvP and other type of stuff, there's a big audience for that here. So they do a really good job with that. But they really do, I think, probably just as good of a job like keeping it really fun for the single player people like myself. And I think that's pretty rare among a lot of MMOs. I feel like it's just they're like, it's an MMO. There's no single player people here, and then they just have a crap story. They'll be like, oh, who cares? They're just gonna be doing whatever. Everyone here will be playing PvP anyway. And I'm just like, see, but now I'm never gonna play your MMO because that's stupid. Anyway. I digress. Okay, so before we get too far, because we have to take a taxi to the Lower Wilds, we're just gonna run and turn this in because you might as well, because we're right here. You know what I mean? Arzanin, I killed some traitors, bro.
I watched you deal with those traitors. Well done.
Thank you.
That was an impressive display of loyalty.
I'm a loyal
Take
guy.
This reward as a token of the Emperor's favor, and wear this badge. It marks you as a defender of our empire.
Stay vigilant. Our enemies lurk where you least expect them.
Ah, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, well. Alright, boots. They are better. Go ahead and sell the other ones. We leveled up to level 7. Killing it as far as levels are concerned. Okay, so we do have to take a taxi. Guess we might as well. I thought about going back in and grabbing some more abilities, assuming there are any, but we'll have to be back anyway. And nothing we're gonna fight yet is gonna be powerful enough to withstand what we already have. So it's nothing to really worry about. But this game is great. I am really happy that I am doing this playthrough on my channel. The game is so much fun. I have a great time playing this game. And I think you guys will as well, because I feel like that when I'm having fun, I feel like the quality of the content is better, and then I think that makes for a more solid playthrough. So I think this could be fun for all of us. And that's good stuff, man. Alright. Oh, forget it. It's like, yeah, I'll take a little bit of damage, but it's still faster. Even falling and healing, it's still faster than waiting for the elevator. It's like, oh, whatever. We'll just jump down. It won't kill me. Who cares? Alright, pick up the free experience, and then we'll talk to this guy. It's kind of a nut job.
Acolyte, come to view my experiments. Good. I trust the sight of a messy operating table doesn't disturb you?
I have no fear of dead things.
All fine and good, but lack of fear and genuine interest are not the same. This used to be a Toccata, the hound-like creatures infesting Korriban's tombs. On the surface, nothing special. But I alone can see this creature is an expression of pure dark side energy. Aggression made manifest.
Amazing. How did you learn that?
Okay, so my character's gonna kiss up to this guy, because this guy's a lord, okay? So he's not gonna, like, mouth off to him, but he doesn't really agree, and I'll get more into that when this guy's done talking.
This Toccata was one such form.
Are we another of these forms?
Sith are the highest manifestation of the Force's will. I've dissected hundreds of Toccata, forging a direct connection to the dark side. Each beast I examine advances me toward perfect unity. I now stand at a new frontier, but find myself thwarted. My most perfect specimen, a Toccata mutant, escaped to the tombs before I could analyze it.
Perhaps I can help recover your specimen.
Yes, I was hoping as much. My apprentice, Melora, saw which tomb the mutant beast fled into. Find out what she knows, assist me, and you will be rewarded.
I'll speak with Melora and do whatever is necessary, my lord.
You found a great calling in my service. I trust you appreciate that.
Okay, so Captain Creepy is really creepy. However, my character, I feel like that made sense to for like Glorik. It would make sense for him to be really respectful and like, you know, wow, you're so smart, you're so right about anyone higher than him, because this guy's a lord. Okay, so in the power ranking, I am like merely an acolyte. You know what I mean? I'm not even as technically rank wise of an apprentice, not a real one. So it's just one of those things that it's like you got to play in character. You know what I mean? And like, they give you the option to mouth off, and you know nothing's really going to happen, but it's not in character for Glorik to just be spitting all this crap to, like, Darths and Lords, and that doesn't even make sense. I feel like him mouthing off to, like, Melora makes more sense, because she's only an apprentice, you know what I mean? So, and he's cocky enough that he's like, oh, please, you know, even if it came down to it, I could take her. You know what I mean? And I feel like that makes sense, but I feel like there's a certain amount of kissing up that is just part of the program. Like, anyway, I feel like that's just part of the program.
Seeking Lord Renning's lost pet, are you? Don't waste your time. That fool's research is pointless.
I stalk a deadly beast, not some harmless vermin.
That may be, but you still risk your life for nothing.
I'm so much taller than her.
The Dark Council into believing he's advancing Sith knowledge. The truth is, he wastes the Empire's time and resources dissecting mindless animals. But if his experiments were discredited, he would be banished, and I would be rewarded.
You're just scheming to get rid of your master.
I have a greater destiny than serving as a research assistant in this pathetic excuse for a laboratory. Look, just a minor alteration to the mutant Toccata's brain would allow me to reveal my master as a fraud. Bring me the brain before delivering it to Lord Renning, and I'll make it worth your while.
I'll see if the mood strikes me.
You'll earn rewards from both the master and his apprentice. It's a better deal. The mutant Toccata escaped to the tomb of Mark of Ragnos. It's much larger than the others, so it's easy to spot.
Okay, so...
Oh,
sorry, she's not done.
Before you see Lord Renning, and I'll take care of the rest.
Okay, so two things about that. Firstly, Glorik, I think this is in character for almost pretty much all of my characters, but their responses is all very different. So, Glorik hates being manipulated. All of my characters hate being manipulated. There's nothing worse to them than being played. Now, all of my characters would handle it very differently. Every character I make would handle it. Now, Glorik, personally, it pisses him off. He gets violent. Like, and he hates he hates being talked down to. For Melora, she's dumb enough to think that she can manipulate Glorik or like pay me off to go against her master. So that's the first thing. And he's not stupid. He knows that all she really wants is to get rid of the master because she doesn't like what they're doing. And so for her, it's obviously she wants to get rid of her boss. Now for Glorik, he's like, you know, you can't manipulate me into getting rid of your master, forget you. The second reason is, if you have to alter his research to make him prove himself, you know, to make him prove him a fraud, then was he really a fraud to begin with? Because if you had to alter what you found, then I feel like that maybe he was right. You know what I mean? Like, but if all you had to do was like, if you know, show this unaltered, you know, research sample to his boss, and he says, wow, there's nothing special about this, well then now you know, well, he is a fraud. Clearly there's nothing special about it. But if you have to alter things that you found, well, then maybe he was onto something. And then you don't really care about what you found out. You're just upset because you're doing work that you don't like. You know, that's it, that you just don't like. Anyway, I feel like that my nothing will irritate Glorik more than being manipulated, because he's like, I'm not stupid. Don't you think you can manipulate me? It's important. It's important. Anyway, so we'll have to kill 15 little dudes on the way to our destination, but that's easier than you might believe. What? Oh, I was like, what the heck? But he like was just warped behind me. Anyway. But yeah, that's easy. There's quite a few guys between us and our objective, so that's not that big of a deal. But we're gonna have to take a little shortcut into here because it's on the way, and then when we're done, we can just teleport home. Or not home, but you know, teleport where we need to go. Anyway. The other, I think, a big, like, vein, similar to all my characters, and this is very true of me in real life, is I have a thing about loyalty. And all my characters do as well. Now, again, all their responses to being betrayed are very different, but depending on personality and, you know, circumstances and stuff. But, like, Glorik and, like, the Sith, like, obviously, betrayal and deceit is a big part of being a Sith. But there is... You know, you can see trends of Sith who aren't necessarily betrayal. Like, so if you know anything about like the Star Wars universe, and not the stupid crap movies that ruined everything, okay? Like the actual books before Disney just, you know, peed all over everything that was already canon. You can, sorry, I'm biased, I know. Anyway, you can look at other Sith Lords, like, you know, and see some that were examples of, you know, you don't have to be a traitor to be a good Sith, or you don't have to betray someone. And personally, you can see some examples of, like, loyal, even fanatic, maybe even Sith. And I personally think that's much more interesting. And that's how I always play my Sith, that maybe he knows that betrayal is a you know, a powerful weapon and devastating if used right, but he's not big on, like, if he has followers, if Glorik has followers, he wants to know they're loyal. And if they're not, he will kill them. He has no tolerance for like, treachery. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, there is some cases where, like, maybe it's a betrayal, but it's not that big of a deal. But I feel like a lot of the time, it's a really, you know, fine line for him. Anyway, I have a thing about loyalty, and it extends to my characters. And I feel like that it's big with my characters, too. So, anyway, just so you guys, I feel like I want you know, you guys to have a good image of what Glorik is like as a character, because it will make more sense for all of us down the road. I mean, you know, you'll be like, oh yeah, you know, that made sense, that's in character, because the more you guys get to know him, and the more we play, and the more decisions are made and stuff, I feel like the clearer he becomes as a character, and that's fun, you know? Again, I think it makes the role-playing aspect far more fun than if you just, you know, oh, I'm leveling up, or, you know, what are you doing? Oh, I'm clearing out this dungeon for loot. You know what I mean? I feel like if you're just in there for reasons like that, for me, it would be hard. That's not enough of an incentive. I need story reasons. I need character backstory to make something more interesting, and that's a personal thing, but that's how I am, man. 6 of 15, 7 of 15, 8 of 15. Yeah, we'll be doing just fine. Where I think it counts on the inside of the tomb as well. But even if it doesn't, we'll just hit guys on the outside and zigzag our way in if it comes down to it. Oh, see, there's 11. Wow, triple kill. It's a little weird to be a warrior. My sister and I have been playing Inquisitors, and so I'm used to the ranged DPS that the Inquisitors have, which is my favorite. And I'm used to that, and so switching to characters that you like run up and hit them, to me, I'm just like, it takes all. I always feel like, you know, why am I'm too close, you know, I'm too close. Excuse me. Anyway, we got our bonus objective, good experience. But anyway, so it's always, sometimes it's a little hard to adjust between characters, but it's not that bad. It's, you know, especially once you play enough, you get to a point where it's not that hard to adjust. Like, it's not as bad as it. Like, I remember that back, you know, when I was new and I was playing a lot, and I was just playing a lot initially, switching was hard. Like, it was really hard like balancing abilities and feeling like I had any idea of, you know, like how to take care of them. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to, you know, use these abilities. I can't, you know, I was just playing a Sith Warrior. I can't be a trooper. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. But these days, it's not that hard because I build my abilities pretty similar to each other, and then, you know, you just get used to using different classes. And of course, there is some adjustment involved, of course, but it's really not that bad. Not that bad. Ooh, something purple. What's that? Oh, it's a gift. Fancy. Well, we'll hold on to that. We will hold on to that. Inside we go. We are here for the Ancient Sith Carving. Meditate at the Ancient Sith Carving. And that's what we'll do. Because these boots are made for walking, and that's what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are going to walk all over you. They're like, what? Nothing, forget it. Don't worry about it. Alright, slay the beast of Marco Ragnos. It's ugly, but it's not going to be safe. As soon as I can hit him. Alright, he's too close now, so whatever. Whatever, I don't need to leap towards him, okay? The fight of our lives. No, I'm kidding. Not that hard, he's already almost dead. Apparently he was just out of range for that. So there you go. Fight of our lives, indeed. He was easy. And I mean, it's -1 power, but everything else is pretty good. I feel like that's worth it. Plus, it looks pretty good. Okay, so we have to return to them, so now we can actually just teleport down here, because now there's no reason to work our way back. And this is illustrating my point of it's very helpful in this game if you're very good at reading the maps, but also if you're very good at being efficient. Like, and just if you have enough game sense and like know-how, you can be efficient enough so that you can save trips. And it's both things I am very good at, and then experience, of course, is on my side. And so it's very helpful for me because, you know, I just know that if we hit that thing rather than coming back, if I go up into the to do our story stuff, I can teleport back here and turn them both in. You know what I mean? And just stuff like that, it saves a lot of time, saves a lot of trips. It's very helpful.
I'm running out of patience. Have you finally acquired the...
What do you mean finally? I just talked to you, bro. Use your stupid brain.
I have what you asked for.
Ha! Wonderful. Let me see it.
There you go.
Your beast died much too easily.
True.
Then I release you back to the killing fields. May you find greater fulfillment there. You've done me a great service, but
you're welcome.
Now I must continue my research.
Actually, there is something else.
Melora asked me to sabotage your experiment.
Is that so?
Uh-oh, someone done screwed up.
The appreciation it deserves. There's no place for you as my apprentice.
Wait, Master. It's a lie. I haven't betrayed you.
Oh, but you have.
I know the truth when I hear it, Melora. I'm releasing you from my service. Eventually.
Anakin! Anakin!
Master,
do
please.
It. Anakin.
Stop.
Anakin. My voice isn't quite there. Like I said, I'm kind of stuffed up from my Pokemon part, but... Anyway. Oh! Someone's in trouble.
Take your reward and leave. Melora and I have much to discuss.
Have fun.
Perhaps I could be of assistance.
I appreciate your kind offer, but I prefer to handle this myself. Farewell.
Haha. There you go. Bam! I think it's what, a head? Yeah, it's a head thing, but we're actually we'll hide it, but we're gonna hide the head slot. I don't want that showing up in my portrait. I don't want it in my cutscenes when I look so sharp without it. Wait! I made it. We get it. It's like, no, the elevator, come back. Hup. Alright. Back to the academy. Away. Away. Making good progress, I think. It took us a little bit to get going, but I feel like there's a lot I feel like that you need to sort of cover, because this is one of those games that there's like a lot to it, and it's very long, and I want it to be like obvious for you guys why I do things, and setting things up. Setting things up, I just want it to be more fun for you guys, rather than just launching in and not telling you why I do stuff or a certain way I'm gonna do things. Some of you, because otherwise, you might not have any idea what I'm doing. You're like, why are you doing that? That's so stupid, or whatever. And and I want, want it to be fun for you. So, anyway, want it to be fun for you too. So it took us a little while to get going, but I think it's okay. This is gonna be a long series, so I feel like it's not that bad. I mean, an extra, 20 minutes to get started and explain stuff isn't going to make all the difference. I mean, this is going to be a long series, so it's like, get comfortable. Get comfortable. We're not going anywhere. Alright, so, I'm going to turn into Tremel. That'll probably be enough to level me, possibly. It might be enough to level me, and if it is, then we will run up. I mean, regardless, we need to run up to grab our abilities. We have probably a plethora of new abilities that we need to grab, so even if it's not, we'll still do it, but it would be really nice to clear another ability, or level threshold.
Well, look who's here. Remember me?
The lackey, of course I remember you.
You need to move out of my way.
No self-preservation.
I put myself in your way, buddy. On purpose.
Wow, you're
Notice
dumb.
Anything interesting? No witnesses. No witnesses means no rules.
Which makes it easier to kill you.
No more shortcuts. No more special treatment. You're just going to be another dead failure on Korriban.
And you're just going to be another forgotten lackey corpse. Idiot. Oh! Someone's really weak.
No. Hold up.
Yeah.
Up. Look, I was wrong.
Uh-huh.
What they're saying about you, totally true.
Oh, I know.
So strong.
Tough.
I don't want to die.
Ask for no mercy and expect none. Die like a Sith.
Yeah.
I failed you, Vemrin.
Oh! Dead. Lols. Weak. Weak scum. Tremel, let's talk.
Speak quickly, Acolyte. There isn't much time. I may have made a slight miscalculation.
Great.
The beast of Mark Aragnos was a great source of dark energy here on Korriban. When it was slain, there was a tremor in the Force. Darth Barris felt that tremor and has become aware of you. He demands an audience.
Oh, please.
Good. I've been waiting for this for a long time.
After meeting him, you may find yourself wishing you had more time to prepare. Barris is a serious man, but a master of deception. Everything he does and says is calculated. He will attempt to trip you up, test your nature, get to the heart of who you are. Always take him seriously. And I mean always.
I can handle Darth Barris.
Barris is usually the one doing the handling.
Tremo's so scared of Barris.
You might not speak again, Acolyte. You're the best chance of stopping Vemrin. If you fail, I doubt there will be another strong enough. Good luck. Meet Darth Barris in his chambers, and hurry. He won't take kindly to waiting.
Oh, man. Hey, it was enough. Level 9. Alright, what do we got? A better belt? Very nice. That actually looks slicker. I like that. And then we have some gauntlets, some arm guards, which we didn't even have any, so that's obviously an improvement. Anyway. Alright. Let's roll out, and it works out because this is actually upstairs, and we need to go up there anyway. So that so it's more convenient for me. The stairs, around the outside, around the outside. All right, don't be deceived. That updates when you get close. See, there's the little plus.
You are strong.
All right, what we got?
But you could be stronger.
Oh. Okay, perfect. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's unlock the abilities. We actually need to slide Battering Assault over to 8 and 7. I was thinking this was this, but it's not. So 7 is my strongest ability. 7, it's just a barrage. It's really powerful. Now, the Battering Assault, it does damage, but really it's about building rage. So, this is how I always set it up. 8 is my build rage, and then 7 is always my strongest. It's like one of my strongest abilities. It's like a barrage technique, that type of thing. Unleash is really good, of course. It purges incapacitating and movement impairing effects, so it just really nice to be able to burn things off that are slowing you down, or like a poison or stuff like that. And then Saber Ward is really good. It's just very tanky. Raises the Saber Ward, increases melee and range defenses by 50%, and absorbing 25% of damage taken from force and tech attacks. So it just makes you more tanky, which is of course awesome. So we can go ahead and lock my abilities again. But yeah, that is a marketable improvement. Which we have Ravage, and Ravage is so good. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, Ravage is really good. It's very strong. And then, of course, Battering Assault. It's nice to build up the rage. So that's really good. And it was actually kind of weird because as I was using it, I'm like, has the barrage or that strong ability always given you rage? And I was like mentally debating it, and then obviously I just figured out why. I'm like, no, actually it hasn't, and that's why.
I believe that's the one.
All right. Hey, you!
Careful, Tino.
Come on, I'm antsy for some action. You there?
What's up?
Are you the big shot they're all talking about? The one who's been personally summoned by Darth Barris himself?
That's me.
News sure does travel fast.
Please pardon my over-eager friend. It's just that we've heard so much about you.
And we want to get in good with you.
Tino, what my blunt partner here
I like
means
him.
is that if you need
No
anything
sense
or
of
anyone
politics. I love
dealt
that.
with, we'd like you to consider us.
She's talking about Vemrin. We'll kill him for you.
Sorry.
I like him.
I should have had Tino
No
on.
politics. I love that.
So, what do you say?
Say it straight.
We know Vemrin tried to have you killed.
He did do that.
Would you like him eliminated?
Something like this would have to be handled delicately.
Of course. We completely understand. There are rules. Acolytes are not to openly kill one another. Everyone knows of your rivalry. If you kill him, the Lords will presume your guilt.
It's true. That'll be pretty obvious.
But if Vemrin croaks while you get an alibi, people might be suspicious, but they won't be able to pin it on you. See?
I wouldn't be upset if Vemrin turns up dead.
Say no more. Go about your business. We'll handle this with utter discretion.
What does this mean, Fine?
It means Vemrin is a dead man, and we're going to have the most potent of allies.
You guys are never going to be able to beat Vemrin, but of course that is no problem of mine. That's Sith politics for you.
Most of you will not return from this endeavor. If you die, you will be forgotten. If you give up, you will be killed. No, out of my sight.
I've got a bad feeling about this. You should. This is the end of the line for you, Clemrel. Just make sure you stay out of my way.
Look here, Vemrin. I see the upstart, but no sign of Dolgus.
Uh-oh.
Clemrel, Vemrin, you have been dismissed.
Get lost, idiot.
Yes, Master.
I underestimated you by sending Dolgus. It will not happen again.
Are you having trouble with Acolyte Vemrin, Supplicant?
Don't call me that. That's weird.
If he insists on getting in my face like that, he's gonna have trouble with me.
He has been hardened into a lethal...
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Vemrin has paid his dues. He's fought a deck stacked against him to get here. You, on the other hand... Let me get a closer look at you. Yes, as I suspected. Overseer Tremel has done you and this academy a great disservice.
Oh, really?
Your warblade came early. Prisoners flown in for your convenience. Even a beast here on Korriban instead of off-world in the wild. The pacing of the trials is deliberate. Only full immersion over time produces results. Your mind is soft, unhoned.
Again, I mean, I can't argue with him. He's a Darth.
It was never my intention to offend.
But it is offensive to be presented with an acolyte who doesn't even have a rudimentary understanding of what it means to be Sith. The first month of trials should be dedicated to philosophy, conceptual tactics, understanding of the Sith Code. Recite the Sith Code for me, Acolyte, and explain its meaning in battle, war, and politics.
I don't recall learning a
I actually know the Sith Code by heart, but you're not allowed to know it until you actually hear it.
Readiness and your understanding of the Sith way is woefully lacking.
I would crush you if you weren't above my level.
Master now. Dremel was becoming lax before you ever arrived. His unwillingness to adapt to the evolving Sith paradigm has become a liability. These are the actions of a traitor. Traitors are executed. I grant you immunity from punishment. Kill Dremel and bring back his hand as proof.
As you decree, my lord.
Now, leave. I'm sure Dremel is still in his chambers. Don't return until you've killed him.
Easy enough, man. Easy enough. I have no special bond with Dremel. I mean, as funny as it sounds, like, to some degree of what Barris is saying isn't even just inherently wrong, okay? I don't love Barris or anything, but some degree of what he says isn't a total lie. You know, like, a lot of my trials were, like, flown in for me and, like, were given to me really early. Now, maybe my inherent power and skill, like, means that, you know, that Dremel was, you know, not that concerned about it, or maybe he just didn't care and he was trying to push me faster so that he can have a rival in case Barris makes a move. I really don't know. But regardless, I mean, because that's how real power is gained for the Sith, is through trial and suffering. So it's like, it's one of those things that my Sith hasn't really suffered a lot. I mean, because especially if his background is like, you know, the noble Sith bloodline and, like, you know, used to being treated like you're amazing and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, it's just weird. I don't know. It's just, so some degree of what Barris says isn't totally wrong, but I still don't like him. And I'll still crush anyone who comes against me, just saying.
So, yet another acolyte stands in the shadow of our academy. You must consider yourself privileged. Tell me, you who would be Sith, have you seen much of our civilization so far? Have you been awed by this world's power and glory?
Indeed I have. Korriban is most inspiring, my lord.
You find it so? Then you should understand something. Korriban was wrought by the true-blooded Sith millennia ago. Our ancestors, a crimson race of conquerors, raised the statues around us. Over the eons, however, our people mingled with slaves. Now the red markings of true Sith are rare, and the purity of this planet is in question.
And what about me? Are you doubting my purity?
No, you are young. It is your masters who concern me. True purity and strength are carried in the blood. I worry that our blood is being diluted over generations. In the Emperor's name, I have come to learn whether the Academy's overseers are Sith or not. You will be my instrument.
Who are you to judge whether Sith are pure or inferior?
As an agent of the Emperor and the Dark Council, I will report to them, and if necessary, seek ways to restore hereditary supremacy. I possess an ancient device, a holocron, that can read and record bloodlines. It will pulse with life near the Overseers. Allow the holocron to fulfill its purpose. Stand near the Overseers as it attunes to their blood purity. Then return here, and I will learn the truth.
Alright, I will do that. But man, it's one of those things that this guy, that's not true, man. Any real Sith knows that gender and race mean absolutely nothing in the pursuit of power, okay? Now that's like not quite a direct quote, but that's like a paraphrase of an actual quote from Darth Bane, who was one of my favorite Sith, personally. And he has a great series of books, by the way. But anyway, the gender and race have nothing to do with your ability to be a Sith. Now, in Glorik's case, obviously he is used to being, like, you know, told he's the best, he's used to believing it, but it's less about his race and more the fact that it's about him. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like in in Glorik's case, he thinks he's unstoppable. He thinks he is destined for great things. It's not so much because he's a Sith pureblood. Now, does he think maybe he does have pride in his race, and maybe he thinks it will help him? But it's not like, you know, I wouldn't be powerful if I was like a human, or I wouldn't be powerful if I was a Twi'lek. You know what I mean? And I feel like that it's more like a personal pride and a little less about a race thing. And for me personally, it's completely unrelated. It means nothing. You could be any gender or race, and you could be a powerful or a completely worthless Sith Lord. I don't think it's related. It's not related at all. That's just not how that works. But anyway, and I think a lot of the Sith bloodline is blinded by the fact that it's like pure blood this and pure blood that, and I don't think that it's even related at all. But anyway, I digress. All right, Tremmel. Prepare to be KO'd, bro.
I didn't expect to see you again so soon.
I'm back.
Has Barris sent you back to me?
I'm here to kill you.
Then I have been outplayed. Barris has the authority, but I did not think he would do something this overt.
Then you done screwed up, bro.
Either I die, or he forces me to kill you, and to destroy my own plan. A master stroke.
Now calm down, bro.
Very well.
He's not that smart.
Your orders, Acolyte. Know that it gives me no pleasure to kill you.
What makes you so sure you're going to kill me?
You're strong, Acolyte, as strong as any I've seen come through the Academy. But you're not Sith yet.
Are you sure, though?
I'll try to make your end quick and painless. It's the least I can do.
No offense, Overseer. I'm gonna crush you. Are you ready? Alright, so first 8 to raise up my rage. And 7 to really wail on him. See how, look at all that damage it did. It's so good. And it's not even a meme. It just really did a lot of damage.
No. I'm amazed.
I know, I crushed you.
I knew you were strong
like
before,
an ant.
but not like this. You're more than ready to challenge Vemrin. Barris won't be able to deny that now. He'll have the satisfaction of my death. But I die knowing my success. Go ahead. End this.
Now, again, I think a lot of part of my Glorik's thing, it's a personal pride thing, but he respects a good warrior. He wants a good fight. He wants a good fight. And I feel like that he has respect for Tremmel because he was his teacher and he did teach him a lot, and I feel like he has respect for him. He's not going to not kill him, but he does respect him as a warrior.
You fought bravely, Overseer. Die with your head held high.
Farewell, Acolyte. The purity of the Sith lies with you.
Oh! Bye, Tremmel. Sorry, bro. Nothing I could do about that. Outplayed. Alright, let me just top off my health. There we go. Alright, so there's 2 more people to scan for bloodlines. They are both outside. One of them is, of course, that Inquisitor. He is by the taxi. And then the other one is way at the end by the ship that leads out of that leads off the planet. The shuttle that leads off the planet. So we'll be doing those when we're actually outside, but we're going to run back up, tell Barris the dark deed has been done, and then we'll see what's next. The dark deed has been done. I really ran the worst way around this whole area. I don't know why I ran around the long way. Hashtag idiot. Alright. Barris! It's done. I done diddly killed him. I cut his face off. Whatever you needed.
What's this? The Acolyte returns, and with a blooded weapon. I assume this means Tremmel is no more.
That's right.
Give me his hand.
Here you go.
Yeah, take this one ring as a memento.
Sweet.
Remembering the past can strengthen resolve and embolden the spirit.
It's a class ring. I'm so excited.
I am impressed you had the fortitude to destroy him. You know he thought of you as family. How did it feel to betray him?
It didn't?
I did what was called for.
You mask your feelings well, as long as you
Don't put words in my mouth, bro.
You have taken your first step to understanding the Sith Code. Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, we gain strength. Through strength, we gain power. Through power, we gain victory. And through victory, our chains are broken. The Force shall set us free. By embracing the code and destroying Tremel, you have freed yourself from his shackles and escaped his fate.
You've made your point. I understand.
That's more like it. I had a feeling you'd be a fast learner. Now, there are sacred ruins in the tomb of Tulak Horde. The ancient inscriptions that once adorned the walls of each ruin lie in pieces. You will venture through the entire tomb, search all of the ruins, and bring me a shard from each of these inscriptions. You will do this, or you will die.
Fair enough.
Vemran and my other acolytes have already been sent. There are no rules regarding how they secure the shards, and they will stop at nothing. Fight your way through the tomb of Tulak Horde in the Valley of the Dark Lords, and bring me the shards from each of the ruined shrines.
Alright. Alright. So, we leveled up. We didn't level up, but we got a briefcase full of money, we got a gift, which I don't know what that's good for, and then we got some new armor, which admittedly has a better color scheme. There's more black in it. I like that. And the black and the red blend better. Personally. Anyway, so lots to do outside the... outside. I mean, that's just it. Lots to do outside and on Korriban. Gonna run down here quickly. Quickly, no! This way, young heroes! Alright. Anyway, I don't know what my problem is. Anyway, perfect. Well, I think we are going to call this episode right here. That is a great length for the first episode. When we come back, we will be talking to that lady right in front of us, and then we will be pursuing part of that quest. And then we will, if we're really lucky, when we get back, we can finish Korriban, which is, I think, probably a distinct possibility. Especially because now that the preliminary, like, let's set this up to play thing is past us, I feel like that from here on out, it's better. There's a better chance of making good time. So I think that there is at least a chance that we can finish Korriban when we come back, possibly. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys are excited for this new A-Series game. I am. I'm stoked. I am so happy that I'm finally doing this on my channel. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the content today, and we will talk to you guys later. Hey guys, Sniffles McGillicuddy over here. Is the password drugs? The super late defender. He's like, no, stop it. No, I haven't seen your mother. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what do you forget about it? What are you doing? Okay. We walked all over those little peons. Better than being pee-offs, am I right? Sorry, I'll just stand over here. Lest we step on like a really big bomb or something and they're like, you know, you done screwed up, blowing up entire facility. Wait, what? No!